Welcome back to my channel. I'm Katie.the.cosmic.sailor, and today we are going to be looking at what seeds do you plant in other people. So how do you inspire those around you through the things you say or do? We all know that we're all connected, so when you act or say something, it can inspire those around you and can plant a seed in other people. Of course, they get to choose if they water the seeds and nourish it to grow, but you still planted the seed nonetheless. This reading is inspired by springtime and the time of planting seeds and growing gardens, so I'm super excited. This is the reading we're doing today, and we have 3 groups to choose from. So the first group is going to be the Linestrider Tarot with the Rose Quartz crystal. The second group is the Anime Tarot with the Black Kyanite. And the third group is the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot with the Selenite. So those are the groups for today. If you need to pause the video to meditate on the piles, feel free to do so. I will have the timestamps linked in the description box below, that way you can click straight to your pile. And if you feel drawn to more than one pile, that's totally okay. That just means there's more than one message for you here today. So if you need more time, feel free to pause the video. Other than that, I will see you in your pile. Bye. Hello, if you chose the Rose Quartz Tower, you are part of group number 1. We're going to look and see what seeds do you plant in other people. So connecting with your group's energy right off the bat, I was hearing clearer vision, perspective shifts, and the mediator. So I feel like you almost plant seeds in people's minds to help them shift their perspective, to help them see things a little bit clearer is something that's coming through. And you could be like the mediator. You could have this archetype in your life, present in your life, where you're always that friend that people go to. Like if they're arguing or something, they're like, we can ask pile 1 because pile 1 will know what to say. Pile 1 will know who's right and who's wrong. Pile 1 will give us a fair outcome. You almost have this you're able to see things from a bigger perspective, and I feel like you plant seeds in people's minds and hearts that allows them to maybe see their lives a little bit clearer. So if they are struggling with depression or struggling with pessimism, I feel like just listening to you talk, listening to you speak is very healing for them. But we're going to go ahead and look at your oracle cards first, and that was just the energy that I was picking up. We'll look at your tarot cards in a little bit, but let's see what your oracle cards have to say. So we have rest, slow down, you don't have to solve everything today. And we have the imagery of the hummingbird here. And when I think about hummingbirds, I think about be here now, really coming into the present moment, and being really aware. So you could plant seeds in people to slow down. I feel like you could encounter a lot of people who are go, 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 and then when they enter in your energy or when they talk to you, it's almost like they kind of realize oh, we can rest, we can relax, like it says on this card, we don't have to solve everything today. And you almost inspire this in other people to slow down. Let's see what else we have. So we have the Honeydew Dragon, Gratitude. And it's interesting because I have been really getting into planting seeds and stuff like that. And I feel like the honeydew, most melons have a long harvest time. So it takes them a while to grow to full. It takes, I want to say some of them 4 months, 3-4 months to grow into maturity. And it's that message of slow down, but we have gratitude here. So you could really inspire people to really come back into the present moment. I feel like your energy is very grounding. You could have a lot of earth in your chart. Also, I am picking up a little bit of water here, but mainly earth. So Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. So you have this very like quality about yourself where it's very like slow and steady, and it's almost like you inspire people to really just like stop and smell the roses is something that's coming through. And with this message of gratitude here, I feel like you could inspire people to be grateful for where they are at in their life and be grateful for the present moment. That's something that's coming through. And then we have snake here. Really interesting. And then we have this image of the flower of life inside the snake. And we have more earth energy here as well. I feel like your energy is very healing to those around you. With the snake spirit, I'm getting the message of shedding the skin. You know, snakes shed their skin frequently. That way they can let go of what no longer serves them. And you could inspire this in other people as well. I feel like you have just such this like slow and steady energy about you where it's like maybe people tend to get like caught up in the things that they're doing, and they don't even realize they've forgotten their why. Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Is it for me or is it for other people? And I feel like when people are in your energy, it's almost like you inspire them to like, almost like, I'm getting this like wake up out of the matrix, or become conscious of their unconscious. That's something that's coming through as well, where it's like, a lot of people tend to be on autopilot, but then when they're around you, it's like you inspire them to really, sit down with themselves and realize, what do I have in my life that I'm grateful for? What do I want to cultivate more of? Instead of just being on autopilot and doing what other people want me to do. And a lot of times when we are in this energy of go, 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 and we slow down a little bit, then it does allow us to shed what no longer serves us. Let's see what else we have. So we have abundance. I love this. Jupiter here. You could be really, like, for some reason I'm getting this message, you could be really into gardening, or you could have a love for plants. That's something that's coming through. But I feel like you do have this, like, growth mindset that you inspire in other people. And I feel like people who have seen you go through challenges, it's almost like very inspiring for them, because when they see you go through a challenge, it's like you come out with like all these rewards, all these fruits, and it's like I'm just seeing people be like, "Oh, I want to go through that challenge now too," and that's not something that people would normally say. Nobody wants to experience challenge, but it's like I feel like you inspire growth and you inspire this like strength in people as well. And then we have Virgin. Maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, shadow attribute, fear of intimate union. What seeds do you plant? I feel like you have this really powerful way of seeing the meaning behind things and seeing symbols. And it's like, I feel like this is where this growth mindset comes in, where it's like, that everything is for you. Nothing happens to set you back, but it happens to propel you forward is something that's coming through. I don't know if this is something that you say to yourself, but you also just have this very like soft energy here. And whenever I was like looking at the colors of your group, we have this like baby blue and this like baby pink, and these colors to me are very soft and very light. And I'm also getting, you could be like an Easter baby. That's something that's coming through, but this just like soft light pastel energy. And again, with this Virgin card, we have this like baby blue energy here as well. Hold on one second, I'm going to take a sip of water. And I do apologize, I do have a sore throat right now, so if I sound a little bit stuffy. Also, I feel like you almost like plant seeds of empowerment in people as well. With the snake and the abundance card here, I feel like you really help people wake up and realize that they can control their reality. They can manifest anything they desire. They can become abundant. I feel like you just have this very abundant energy about you. You could have a lot of Taurus in your chart. That's something that I'm really picking up. But you have this abundant energy about you, and you plant seeds of abundance in other people's minds, where I feel like you really help people see, you know, everything that they do have is something that's coming through. And I'm getting this really interesting message. So I'm thinking of Phoebe from Friends. And you know how Phoebe has gone through a lot. She, you know, her mom passed away. She grew up on the streets. Like, all these bad things happened to Phoebe, but she's so lighthearted. She's so fun, and she makes her friends laugh. And I feel like that's almost like the energy that you have. And it's like people see the things that you've gone through and they think, you know, oh wow, pile number one went through that. And the only thing I've experienced is this. And so it's almost like people get this very like gratitude energy when they're around you, and you plant seeds because it's like you're grateful for even just the smallest of things in your life. And so people see this and they're like, oh wow, pile number one is grateful for that. And I have all these things, you know. That's something that's coming through. And you're almost coming through as this very like childlike energy, this very pure like energy that's coming through, whether you see this about yourself or not. You almost plant seeds of like this softness, where it's like you don't have to, I feel like you have a lot of feminine energy in your chart, or just a lot of feminine energy in you. You don't have to be a female. You know, we both have masculine and feminine energy, but I feel like you have dominant feminine energy, where it's like this softness, this nurturing, this like void almost, this very creative energy as well. I feel like you could also plant seeds in people's minds to create more. With the snake here, especially with this flower of life, I feel like people could be inspired by the things that you've created. But with this soft energy here, it's like, you know, I'm just feeling this like softening to the hard edges of life, you know. And when we think about like, you know, we have to go out there, we have to get a 9-to-5 job, we have to work, we have to do, and you have this very like be still energy about you. And I feel like you plant these seeds in other people's minds, you know, like I don't have to work as hard as society has told me to, because I feel like people see how abundant you are. And it's almost like I'm just seeing like people be like, I never see pile number one work. It's because you're in this energy of receiving. And so people just like, I feel like you could get a lot of money at your job or something, but it's like the message of serving is coming through, you know, where you wait on tables but then they give you money. I feel like you're in this very like receptive energy, and you plant these seeds in people's mind that you don't have to work and work and work to receive, that you can rest. And this message of do without doing and everything gets done is something that's also coming through, where people see you in your energy and they're like, wow, pile number one is so abundant. It's because you know the power of receiving, whether you believe this or not. People see this and they feel this in your energy, where you have all these things that you've created or cultivated. And I'm not saying that you don't work hard. I feel like you do work hard for the things you have. And to be in this energy, you do have to put in a lot of work when it comes to releasing limiting beliefs, you know, because in society, we are taught to work, and always go. And to be in this energy, you do have to do a lot of work on yourself, on your inner child, and to know that there is power in receiving. There is power in being soft. There is power in allowing for things to come to you. And I feel like you could have done a lot of work on cultivating an abundance mindset. You could maybe listen to abundance meditations or gratitude meditations, but it's like, you know, when we're in that energy of just feeling so grateful for everything that we have, it almost attracts more into our life. And so I feel like you plant these seeds in other people's mind. You could be really into the law of attraction as well. I feel like you're a very powerful manifester. That's something that's coming through as well. But I feel like it's almost like I was saying in the beginning, it's like you have this awakening energy where people realize, you know, things that they've been taught about life by society isn't necessarily the truth, and you're living proof of this. I want to see what it says about the snake in the book. I know the snake is earth energy. Okay. So this says guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. And so with that message of magic, I feel like you plant seeds in people's mind that life is magic. Life is creative. Everything that we see around us does have this magical ability, you know, that often people overlook. But I feel like you're so tapped into this that when people talk to you or connect with you or see how you act and behave, it's like you plant this seed that magic is real, is something that's coming through. But this says, the snake is a symbol of our highest potential. Here, I'll show you. It is said that the Shakti, our creative life force, lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would life look like if you wake it up? How can you stir it from slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. And then we have this message to bring in that when in balance, prosperous, creative, charismatic. When out of balance, starts and stops many things to bring into balance Kundalini yoga or meditation. Very interesting. And we have this message about awakening, unawakened magic, creative potential. I feel like you could be very creative in your life. I'm specifically getting like an artist type energy that comes through, and I feel like you could plant seeds in other people that, you know, creating stuff, you don't have to be some type of professional or things like this, and I feel like people could be very inspired by the things that you create, and it almost is like, oh wow, pile number 1 did that, I could do that too. Very powerful. We're going to go ahead and look at your tarot cards. And I feel like you could be very connected to your sacral chakra. You're very, you know, the sacral chakra is all about feminine energy, about going with the flow, and about creating. I feel like even just the way you move your body could be very inspiring to people. And it's almost, I'm hearing your spirit guides say, free yourself. And I feel like this is something that you inspire in other people as well. To be free in their bodies, to be grateful for even having a body. It's like you get down to the basics, like to such the basics that it inspires people, you know, I don't need all of these things to be happy because they see you living in this energy. Let's see. Spirit guides of love and light. What seeds does pile number 1 plant? What seeds does pile number 1 plant? I'll leave that card needs to come out. Okay. I'm going to scoot these down just a little bit. I'm actually going to move this one right there. I'm so sorry about my cough, guys. Let's see. So we have the King of Wands. Beautiful. And with this like lion energy coming through, it's like, I feel like you inspire people to tame the beast within by bringing through such this soft energy. And I'm thinking of the Strength card, you know, the woman in the Strength card isn't like taming the lion by force with like chains and whips and that kind of thing. She's in this very like soft, gentle, feminine energy. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Cups. And we have the Three of Swords. coming through. And then on the back of the deck, we have the sun. I love this. I feel like, let me just get a drink of water really quick. I feel like you almost like plant seeds in people that there is enough. There is more to go around. And I feel like you're in this very like childlike, child spirit, wild child energy where it's like everything you've ever needed has always been provided for you. And you may tell this to people, or this may be something that other people see in your reality. But I feel like you inspire people to let go of control and really trust in the universe. And with this Ace of Cups here, I feel like you almost inspire people to start self-love journeys as well as something that's coming through, because they see you in this very soft, loving energy, somebody who cares for themselves. Whether you feel like you don't do enough self-care or whatnot, other people see this and other people feel like you inspire them to care for themselves. And I love that you have the sun here, because the sun is this bright, joyful energy. And I feel like people see you in this very like child at heart energy, and it almost inspires them to just let go. And I'm hearing surrender to the joy is something that's also coming through. And the Three of Swords. Why is the Three of Swords here? I feel like you could be very connected to birds. That's something that's coming through. I'm not getting a traditional meaning with the Three of Swords. But with these birds here, I feel like birds could follow you around. It's almost like that message of magic, unawakened magic that's coming through. I feel like people could see you as being very lucky, but I feel like it's because you have cultivated that mindset for yourself. But I feel like when I'm getting this message that people almost see you as like a Disney princess. That's something that's coming through, where it's like the birds, the animals, nature just kind of talks to you and communes with you. And it's because you have such this open and soft energy where you allow things to come in. Let me see. What else? The Three of Swords. I feel like you almost like plant seeds in people's minds that everything is going to be okay. Especially people who tend to be in energies of being more jealous or greedy or really just like attached. I feel like you inspire them to detach, and you have this like freedom energy about you that I feel like you inspire in people as well. Like freedom is the truth of life is something that your spirit guides are saying, that we are all meant to be free. I'm also seeing the image of a child running around outside without shoes on. And it's like I see adults being like, you need to put shoes on, but I feel like you almost have this innate like connection and knowing that everything is going to be okay. I feel like you're very protected by your spirit guides as well. And with this King of Wands here, I feel like you inspire people to be the leader in their own life. It's interesting because it's like once you let go of control, you know that you are protected, you know that you are loved, you know that you are guided. You can then shift your focus out of survival. That's something that's also coming through, where you inspire people to not be in this fight or flight mode that a lot of us are constantly on of, I have to survive, I have to pay bills, I have to work so I can live. And you inspire people to slow down and be in this energy of like, everything is working for me. I'm always on the right path. Only good things happen to me. And these could be affirmations that you repeat to yourself. But that's just the energy that I'm picking up with this pile. It's like you are the leader in your own life because you co-create what you want while trusting that the universe will provide for you. And because you are in this energy of being grateful for everything that you have, it's like you are then open to more abundance. feel like this pile could be very connected to nature as well. And I'm seeing specifically maybe in childhood, I'm just seeing like a child like climbing trees, playing out in nature. This could have been something that you were like very into. And just like sitting with yourself in nature, I feel like could be very healing for you as well. See if there's anything else I'm seeing. What seeds do you plant? I feel like you could have a very contagious laugh or a contagious smile. That's something that's coming through as well, where it's like when you are in this energy of joy and happiness, other people are more prone to just like, why is pile number 1 laughing? I don't even know, but I want to laugh too. What are you smiling about? I don't know, but I want to smile too. This is absolutely beautiful. Is there anything else coming through for what seeds does pile number 1 plant in people? I feel like that's all I have for you, pile number 1. Thank you so much for watching, and I do apologize about my cough and my voice right now, but I do appreciate you being here. If you enjoyed this reading, please give me a like, please comment down below and let me know if this resonated. And if you feel called, please subscribe to my channel. It really does help my channel grow, and we would love to have you be a part of the Sailor family as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye. Hello, if you chose the black kyanite, this is your reading. So I want to start off by saying I am sorry if I cough during this reading. I do have a sore throat and a sore voice right now, so I am chewing on a piece of hard candy right now. Just wanted to start by saying that. But whenever I was connecting with your group's energy, the first thing that I was getting was this message, look, don't touch. And with that message, I feel like you almost plant seeds of how to set boundaries, how to live in your own energy and set boundaries with other people. So you could have set boundaries with people and people have seen this, or you've kind of like explained, you know, how to protect your energy. That's something that's coming through. But I feel like you have almost like a warrior's heart or a warrior spirit about you. There's kind of a lot of Mars energy that's coming through. So Scorpio or Aries could be dominant in your chart. But I feel like you have this very like strong, like I know who I am type energy, and I know what I will allow in my life and what I won't. And it's like you plant these seeds in other people's brain, you know, to be in their own energy. And they see you setting boundaries and you not allowing things in your life that don't serve you or that are toxic in any way. And people see this and they're like, oh, pile number 2 knows how to set boundaries. Maybe they talk to you about this, or like, how do I set boundaries? This is just the energy that I was feeling. But we're going to go ahead and look at your tarot or your oracle cards, and then we'll get into your tarot cards. So we have courage. When picking roses, don't fear the thorns. I am picking up this very like scorpionic energy about you, where I feel like you're very good at looking behind people's masks and reading into people's intentions and reading people's true energy. It's like, I feel like people could present one thing to you, but you're very good at like picking up subtle signs and signals as to know what these people's actual true intentions are. It's interesting that that's coming through with this courage card, but it's like, I feel like you, what seeds? It's like, I feel like you're very good at standing up to people is something that's coming through with this courage. It's like your spirit guides are saying, when we have courage, it doesn't mean that we don't lack fear. We feel the fear, and we have the courage anyway. So it's like you could tend to maybe get afraid to do things, but I feel like when you know something is for you and when something is not for you, you're not afraid to stand in your power and maybe put up those walls, put up those barriers, or jump into things. That's something that's coming through. We have prosperity with the cranberry dragon. What seeds do you plant? And you actually got 2. So we have the dragonfly and the starfish. What seeds do you plant? I actually want to lay out all your cards. I didn't do this for the other pile, but we have Venus, love. And then we have damsel. Light attributes. Understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. Waiting for a knight to provide for you, seduction by romantic illusion. And I love that it says inspires you to rely on yourself, because I feel like that's something that you may plant in other people. A seed you may plant that you don't need anybody to provide for you. You can do anything you want because you have that power. I feel like you inspire people to be in their power. That's something that's also coming through. And it's interesting with both of these cards, I'm being drawn to these like lines on the back. And I'm seeing just this like 8 of Swords type energy where you plant the seed almost like you can free yourself at any time is something that's coming through, because with these lines I'm seeing like somebody behind bars, but they hold the key. I feel like you're very good at empowering people, lifting people up, motivating people is something that's almost coming through. And with this dragonfly here, I feel like you're very good at almost like calling out people's illusions of the mind. It's like I'm seeing somebody say, you are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings. I feel like you're almost like coming through as an alchemist. That's something that's coming through as well. Like you can transmute negative energy into positive energy by being in your power. And it's interesting that we have this love card here, because I feel like you do this through your heart. And I feel like this is something that a lot of people resonate with, because I feel like feelings are something that you feel very strongly. And again, with that Scorpio energy here, it's like I feel like you feel your feelings so intense that you can, I feel like you've become maybe a master at letting certain feelings go and not letting feelings like take you under. Strong Pisces energy is also here as well. But I feel like you're coming through as like a guide of some sort as well. I feel like people may come to you when they're in these like really dark periods, especially if they're in the energy of feeling trapped or feeling stuck. I feel like you may have been in an energy like this as well, where you may have felt trapped at some point in your life, or you may have felt stuck, or you may have felt that somebody has to come and rescue me. But I feel like you may have gotten out of this situation by empowering yourself. And so people come to you and you plant these seeds in their mind of like, you can do whatever you want. You can free yourself. You have all the answers you need. And with this prosperity here, it's like, I'm almost getting this message like you plant seeds in people to go after their dreams as well. It's like you are never stuck. I feel a lot of horse energy coming through as well, so you could be a Sagittarius, but I'm just seeing like a horse running through a field. And the horse is all about stability, stamina, through, mental exercise, through meditation and strength training. And I feel like bringing that message through because I feel like this is something that you've been through, something that you've worked on yourself, of really empowering yourself to do the things you want, to go after your dreams, is something that's coming through. And I feel like you do a lot of meditations or practice a lot of meditation. That's something that's coming through, because I'm seeing somebody not be so attached to what their thoughts tell them, especially when it comes to intrusive thoughts. I feel like you're able to recognize a thought when it comes in and very quickly like switch it and be like, okay, no, I'm not disempowering myself right now, I'm empowering myself. I feel like you could practice a lot of affirmations as well. But with these cards here, I feel like you do have this energy of being very beautiful. Conventionally attractive is something that's coming through as well. But I feel like you're coming through as this like warrior, somebody who's had to fight for what they believe in. And you plant these seeds in other people that if you believe in something, you can achieve it. But I feel like what I was saying with that, like conventionally attractive, I feel like people could have tend to, like especially in your younger years, been like, oh no, let me rescue you, let me save you, let me take you away from these people, let me do this, let me help you. And I feel like it only, in those moments when you were saved, I feel like it disempowered you and you thought, I don't need to be saved, I can save myself, is something that's coming through. But you have this star-like quality about you. People could tend to put you on a pedestal, is something that's also coming through. But what seeds do you plant? I feel like you plant seeds of like empowering yourself is something that's really coming through. Like, I can do what I want, I can be who I want. This very strong, I feel like you could be a female, but you have very strong masculine energy in you where it's like, I can do what I want, I can stand in my power. And this very like courageous energy is coming through as well. And I feel like you're some type of master builder as well. You could be an entrepreneur or a business owner is something that's coming through. But I feel like in your life, it's almost like your spirit guides are showing me a path that has weeds on it, and you like paving your own path on a path that's never been paved before. And so with this message coming through, I feel like you inspire people to live their dreams, even if they aren't conventional, even if they aren't what everybody else is doing. It's like people see you in this energy and it inspires them, and it like plants seeds like, oh, I can be an entrepreneur, I can follow my dreams, I can live an abundant life, I can have the things I want, I don't have to compromise. That's something that's coming through with this pile. I feel like in your past you could have compromised yourself out of your dreams, and you, I feel like, may have gotten to a point where it's like you started to empower yourself to say, I can have exactly what I want, and I don't need to compromise my dreams, I don't need to compromise my future, because you can create it, because I can create it, is something that's coming through. The dragonfly. I also am feeling with this like message, don't fear the thorns. I feel like you plant seeds in people like there is nothing to be afraid of. Because a lot of times the things that stop us from going after what we want or being the person we want, a lot of times it is fear. And you have this very like, I don't fear anything type energy, especially with this dragonfly here. I feel like you have this very curious energy about you as well, where it's like, I want to go into the darkness, I want to go into the depth, and I want to see what there is to see. Because I'm seeing, when we're kids and stuff, a lot of times, we're afraid of bugs because we don't understand them. And specifically with the dragonfly, I'm just seeing like a lot of kids running from an insect, being like, oh my gosh, it's a spider, it's a bug, I'm scared. And I feel like you were that kid that was like, why? Why are we scared of these bugs? And when you became curious and was like, what is there to fear? You realized that the only thing there is love. And that's why we have love here. I feel like you're on this journey of, it's almost like I'm seeing somebody like chasing their fear is something that's coming through. It's like when you experience a fear, like, oh, I'm afraid of the unknown. And then you step into the unknown with eyes of love and realize the only thing that exists is love. Fear is an illusion, is something that's coming through. And I feel like this is a seed that you plant in people's minds as well. The fear is an illusion. The only thing out there is love. So why be afraid to shine? Why be afraid to show the world the real you? And I feel like you inspire this in people as well. I feel like you could have been a class clown. That's something that's coming through as well. But I feel like whether you resonate with being a class clown or not, I feel like people were always looking to you to see what you're doing. What is pile number 2 doing? How is pile number 2 approaching these things? And I feel like deep down you were always approaching it with love. Your fears, these moments when you felt trapped or stuck, when you approached it with love, it's like it allowed for you to see the light and find freedom. And I feel like that could be one of your life purposes as well. That's something that's coming through, freedom. Very powerful. I love this energy. Very scorpionic energy that's coming through. I feel like you could have siren eyes. That's something that's also coming through. But I feel like you plant seeds in people that the only thing to fear is fear itself, is something that's also coming through. Spirit guides of love and light. What seeds does pile number 2 plant in other people? Cards are just flying out. So we have the 4 of Pentacles. That fell out on the floor. It's almost, I feel like you inspire people to break limitations, is something that's coming through. And I was mentioning this in one of my other readings, but it's like, there's like a TikTok or something where this guy tells this girl, you know, you're so beautiful. And she says, yeah, but what else? It's like, I feel like people could be drawn to you because of your beauty. And I feel like you have a very beautiful heart. And you have a very beautiful energy that magnetizes people. But I feel like you're almost on this, like, your spirit guides are saying mission of growth. Where it's like, I feel like you inspire people who may feel stuck or may feel trapped, that they created those situations on their own. So if they want to be free, all they have to do is open the door. And oh my gosh, I was literally talking about this, the 8 of Swords. I'm not surprised that this is here, but I'm like almost amazed that this came out. I feel like tarot is so synchronistic. Like the things that happen sometimes, it's like, it even blows my mind. But the 8 of Swords, that's what I was saying. You plant seeds in people that they can free themselves, that they can get themselves out of situations that they feel stuck or trapped in. And then we have the Knight of Swords. We have the 5 of Pentacles. We have the King of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Wands. And then we have Temperance. And with 14 here, was I mentioning this pile, the Alchemist? Because I feel like Temperance comes through almost like an alchemist. You know, she has these 2 like vials here. I feel like you're not afraid to change things up, to shift things up. And you could inspire this in people as well. You could move a lot. That's something that's also coming through. And you could inspire people to move. You know, if they're living in a place that they live forever and it's like run down, their landlords are not good. It's like, I feel like you wake people up to realize their own potential is something that's also coming through. that people are more powerful than they let themselves believe. And your spirit guides are saying your thoughts create your beliefs, and your beliefs create your reality. And that's something that you could plant in people as well. And I feel like this is a lesson that you have personally experienced, especially with the Five of Swords here. I feel like you're a very good teacher, but it's the energy of like you had to go through those things. You had to learn those lessons yourself in order to be able to share them. Because we have the Five of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. And I'm just thinking about how the kings, you know, the king, the queen, the suit cards in each deck had to go through the journey of their suit. So the King of Pentacles had to go through the entire journey of the Pentacles. So at one point, he was in the energy of Five of Pentacles. He was in this energy of having a lack mindset, of not feeling like there was, you know, abundance around. And in the typical Five of Pentacles, we have that image of the window pane, you know, the light in the window pane, the church light through the window pane in the background. And I feel like you are almost coming through as like that shining light of hope for people. Like, I've been through hard times. I've experienced these hard times. And I've come out the king. Very like masterful energy here. I feel like you've maybe gone through a lot in your life, but it's like you come out stronger. And that's why I feel like at this point in your life when you're watching this reading, I feel like you could be the type of person that is almost like, what next? You know? Sorry about that. My throat felt like it was closing up and I had a really bad coughing fit. But I think I just need to go slower. I feel like this could be my fairy pile because the energy was just coming in so fast. Or a lot of you have picked pile number 2 and there's just a lot of energy here. But as I was saying with the King of Pentacles, you've gone through the whole tests and trials of the Pentacles. And you've come out as the king. And so I feel like you have a lot of wisdom and you have a lot of knowledge, especially when it comes to things of the physical realm, that other people like to listen to and like to hear you share. I'm hearing your spirit guide saying nuggets of wisdom. And then with the Queen of Wands here, what do you plant in other people's, what seeds do you plant in other people? You plant seeds of being almost like this fiery queen, this fiery, powerful powerhouse. And then we have Temperance over here. So it's like people have seen you go through these things and people have seen you transmute darkness into light. And you're coming, did I mention that you were coming through as a guide? I feel like you have this like mystic guide, healer type energy about you that people are drawn to. And it's like, I feel like people have seen you heal yourself and it inspires them to heal themselves, is something that's coming through. I feel like you plant seeds of healing. You plant seeds of nurturing, of nourishment. With the Temperance with here, the Knight of Swords here, I feel like you also plant seeds in people's mind. Like if there's a situation or people that are no longer serving you, you can be the leader in your own life and you can go towards what is serving you and you can cut away what doesn't serve you. And it's interesting because in this actual tarot deck, I think the Knight of Swords is the mob boss. Let me look and see. Yes, the Knight of Swords is the mob boss. So it says attributes, focused energy, quick thinking, confrontation. And I feel like you almost inspire this energy within others of like being very quick on your feet and very being quick with your thoughts, but also not being afraid to stand up for what you feel doesn't serve you. And I feel like you're always shifting onto the highest timeline. That's something that's also coming through, because you're not afraid to cut away what no longer serves you. And I'm actually interested to see what the Queen of Wands is in the anime deck, what she's represented as. Let me get to it real quick. Okay, so it says the protagonist. The Queen of Wands is creative, charismatic, and always on the move. When you see her in a reading, it may be encouragement toward bold action, or it may indicate that you're doing many things at once. After all, the Queen of Wands is a real social butterfly. So I feel like you don't have a lack of people around you. And I feel like it's because you've let go of people who were draining your energy, and you attracted people who were almost like on your level. And I feel like you're not afraid to really look deep within people and say, is this person going to serve me and help me and uplift me? Or is this person going to drain me? And when you realize that that person would drain you, I feel like you're not afraid to cut that person off. And I actually had this energy a while back, I think, with the star energy here as well. It was like, you know, when you have this energy of being the star, everybody is going to be attracted to you. All kinds of people are going to be attracted to you. And you have to really go through it and learn that some people just want to be in your energy to take from you and not necessarily give anything back. And I feel like you plant these seeds in other people as well, like to know your worth, know your power, claim your power. Be in this energy of abundance, and that's what you will attract. Very powerful. I feel like you're also coming through as almost like this earth angel energy with the temperance here as well. And I feel like you almost plant seeds in people's minds to like be light on their feet and not take things so seriously. If something is for you, it will come back. And if something is not for you, it will fall away. And I am sorry for all of the cuts and edits that I made in this group, but I just kept having these really bad coughing spells, these really bad coughing fits with this pile. And so I feel like that could also be a message for your throat chakra. You could be doing throat chakra healing, but I feel like your voice is very empowering to those. And I feel like when you speak, people want to listen, because you've gone through certain things, and people know that what you're saying comes from a place of truth and comes from a place of authenticity as well. What seeds do you plant in other people? I feel like you also plant seeds of perseverance as well, of really going through certain challenges and coming out almost more evolved, more understanding, of going through certain life lessons and coming out with this amazing amount of resilience and strength. And I feel like that's something that you also plant in other people as well. The power of resilience, the power of seeing things through as well. And it's that message again of going into the shadow and facing your shadows and realizing that the only thing that is there is love. Very interesting. And I'm getting this message of, I feel like you could have a lot of people out there who may see you as this kind of like villain energy, but I feel like it's only because they haven't claimed their power and they haven't recognized their power, so they project onto you that you took something from them. Is something that's coming through. But I feel like for the people who are ready to claim their power and be in this energy of empowerment, find you very inspiring. And the seeds that you plant in their mind, they do let those seeds grow. And they say, oh wow, pile number 2 can do that, I can too. And you know, I'm also getting this message. I feel like you could have been at a point in your life where you weren't allowed to speak, or where people were always trying to tell you to be quiet or that you should only speak when spoken to. That's something that's coming through as well. But I feel like it's almost like you have overcome this and you have found your own voice in this. Even during a time when you were told not to talk, you found your voice. And that, I feel like, brings this through this like amazing resilience, this amazing perseverance, this energy that you have about you. And I feel like this does plant seeds in people's mind. You know, pile number 2 went through that I can too. And pile number 2 came out even stronger, I can too. And I feel like you have this energy of like never giving up as well as something that's coming through. And you also have this with the mob boss here. You have this boss energy. The seeds that you plant in other people is that you can be the boss in your own life. You don't need anybody to help you. You can help yourself. And I feel like the people who come into your life, and who are actually gaining valuable things, it's because they're at a point in their life when they're ready to claim their power. It's something that's also coming through. And I love this. You're coming through as the alchemist. You're coming through as this divine feminine who not only healed their shadow, but works hand in hand with their shadow and doesn't let their shadow control them and doesn't let other people's shadow control them or manipulate them either. And this is something that you plant in other people's minds as well, this energy of empowerment, of letting go of limiting beliefs as well. But I feel like that's all I have for you, pile number 2. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, please give me a like. Please comment down below and let me know if this resonated. And if you feel called, please subscribe to my channel. It really does help my channel grow. And we would love to have you be a part of the Sailor family as well. Thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And I will see you later. Bye. Hello, if you chose the Selenite wand, this is your reading. I do want to apologize, I am feeling kind of sick right now, so if my voice doesn't sound that great, or if I'm coughing throughout the reading, I do apologize in advance. We're going to go ahead and start with your oracle cards, and then we'll get into your tarot. But the first thing that I was picking up with your group's energy, what seeds do you plant in other people? I feel like you plant seeds of kindness. I feel like you plant seeds of helping those out in need. And I kept being drawn to the story of Cinderella. And in the story of Cinderella, you know, her stepsisters, her stepmom are very mean to her. And she's still very nice, you know, like she's never like outright mean. She doesn't give them the taste of their own medicine. You know, she's still very kind to them and she shows them compassion even till the very end, even whenever they're, you know, trying to betray her. She has this very like kind-hearted energy about her. And then also how the fairy godmother grants her her wish and helps her. I feel like you're coming through as almost this fairy godmother energy as well. And I feel like you are the type of person to help those in need. And so I feel like you plant this seed in other people where people see you almost like, I'm just getting the imagery of like somebody giving food to the homeless or somebody helping out in like a soup kitchen or something. Helping those in need, I feel like is very important for this group. And I feel like these are the seeds that you plant in other people's mind, like, you know, especially people who have more pessimism or who have more doubt and think that the world is this like big bad place. I feel like you show people that it's not, and that it has this, that you can have a kind heart amidst chaos, amidst pessimism, amidst people who don't treat you, you know, right. And I feel like you just have this very like kind-hearted energy about you. We're going to go ahead and look at your oracle cards to get a little more detail. What seeds do you plant? So we have discover. Look at the early dewdrops before they disappear with the morning sun. We have the coconut dragon, multitask. What seeds do you plant? And then we have the crow and the bat, 2 air energies here. So you could have Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra in your chart. And then we have lunar eclipse change with the number 7. 4 plus 3 is 7. Just want to go ahead and lay all your cards out. And then we have lover. Great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something, obsessive passion that harms others, self-destructive devotion. What seeds do you plant in others? So I'm getting a couple of messages coming through. With change in bat, I feel like you could have gone through certain experiences where it's almost like you became somebody else after those experiences. The imagery of rebirth is coming through, but you do have this very like mysticism energy about you. I feel like you almost like plant seeds in people that change is the only constant, and that almost this message of like we have more than one life purpose is something that's also coming through. But I feel like you also plant seeds that there is something else out there, such as whatever you believe in, spirit guides, angels, the divine, this like mysticism energy. You could be a tarot reader, you could be a medium. That's something that's also coming through. But it's like, I feel like you help people believe that there is something magical out there. I feel like people could see you as almost like a witch or a wizard. That's something that's coming through. Very psychic though. And I feel like you almost plant seeds in people's minds that you know, there's more going on behind the scenes than what we can actually see. And I had this message come through a reading a while back about spirituality and like science, or like religion and science, and how they're not actually different, but they're connected. I feel like you could be very into sacred geometry as well. That's something that's coming through. But I feel like you're coming through as this like explorer energy. I feel like you could be a very good teacher. And I also feel like this group, more than the others, would be more inclined to tell people things like, oh, did you know this? Did you know this? Especially with this Discover card here. I feel like you're almost like this student of life is something that's coming through. And I feel like you go very deep in the things that you discover. And I feel like you could get really into certain things, and you take it like to a level that nobody else would. And so you're able to uncover these certain truths, these like hidden knowledge, hidden wisdom. And I feel like you plant these seeds in people's minds. It's interesting because I feel this very like psychic energy coming through where it's like the things that you share with people, it has a very significant importance in those people's lives. But I feel like maybe you don't realize it. So like, I feel like I'm just seeing 2 people standing next to each other, and you all of a sudden just bring up this random fact about bobcats or something, or this random fact about a certain animal. And the person that you're standing next to is like, oh, wow, that's weird. I was just thinking about that. Or I encountered that animal this morning and thought, you know, what's up with that? And you like bring through this like very spiritual wisdom that I feel like is very helpful for people on their journey. You could resonate with another pile as well, but you're coming through as this like very like knowledgeable teacher, especially when it comes to the occult, especially when it comes to spirituality. But it's like you have this like wisdom within. And I'm also being drawn to this crow as like the 3-eyed raven in Game of Thrones. You know, he's this all-seeing. He can see past, present, and future. And I feel like you almost come through as this energy as well. And I feel like you help people on their path, and you help people like see and discover that, you know, we're not the only thing out there. I feel like you could encounter a lot of skepticisms. I'm hearing specifically atheists or people who don't have anything to believe in. And it's almost like you plant seeds in people's minds that there's more out there than we could ever know. And your spirit guides are saying our beliefs create our reality. So you could point this out to people and you know, say like, if you believe in nothing, that's what you will see. If you believe that everything is connected, that's what you will see. I feel like you're this very like eye-opening person to people. And it's with this message of change here. I feel like the things you say to people could really like toss over in their mind a bunch and be like, what did they mean when they said that? And it could lead to like epiphanies, realizations, this type of thing. And I feel like people, they see you as almost like this very like spiritually like woke person is something that's coming through. But I feel like it's because you have discovered certain things and come to realize certain things on your own. And so you your spirit guides are saying we hold these truths to be self-evident, which I think is from the Declaration of Independence. I'm not actually sure, but it's like the things you say, people recognize the truth in them, and it really resonates for people. And I feel like it allows people to change and like become completely different people. And I'm just seeing somebody being like really hard on themselves or being very down, and with this Lover card energy, I feel like you really open people up to the brighter things and the brighter sides of life. And with that message at the beginning of the fairy godmother, I feel like you almost come through as this like fairy godmother to people as well. And you plant seeds of like, you can create your own reality. You can do whatever you want to do. The answers are always within you. And I feel like it's because at one point you were the Cinderella. You were somebody who had nothing, who was just basically going off the kindness of their heart to make it out in the world. And I feel like the laws of Hermeticism is something that's also coming through, but it's like you found certain truths within life, and it's almost like you elevated to this godmother energy where you help those in need and you help people who come to you. And it says right here, great passion and devotion. I feel like you just have this very passionate energy about you, and you could plant seeds in people to, you know, discover what their passions are, to help people believe in the magic is something that's coming through. You could resonate with another group as well. But it's that energy of like believing in the magic, and your spirit guides are singing that song. Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? How the music can free her whenever it starts, and it's magic. I feel like you have this very like magical essence about you, but I feel like you plant seeds that, you know, we are all connected. You know, there is things that we can't see that are at play. You could have a lot of 8th house Scorpio placements, but that's really what's coming through. Let's see, multitask. Why is multitask here? I feel like you plant seeds in people's minds that two truths can coexist, that more than one thing can be true, that you can believe in nothing and everything at the same time. That's something that's coming through as well. And I just keep being drawn. I feel like the movie Cinderella could be very significant for you, or there could be messages in that movie. But I'm just seeing how they change that pumpkin into a cart. It's like you can make anything, you can make something out of anything. You can make anything out of something is something that's coming through. I feel like you could maybe resonate with being an inventor, but I feel like you're just a problem solver is something that's also coming through. And I feel like you plant these seeds in other people as well. Like there's no such thing as problems, only solutions. And I feel like you could tell people this, or maybe this is something you believe, but I'm being drawn to, I think it was Thomas Edison, who created the light bulb. There's like a quote that he says is like, I found 100 ways how not to make a light bulb, and one way to make a light bulb. It's like the only way you fail is if you quit. That's something that's coming through, and I feel like you could plant those seeds in people's minds, you know, to never give up. Keep going. And your spirit guides are saying, as long as you believe, you will receive. Very interesting that that's coming through. I feel like the lunar eclipse could be a very powerful time for you. I'm not exactly sure when the lunar eclipse is. Let me look it up because I feel like it's significant. Okay, so it says it's May 5th, so it's coming up, actually. I feel like the lunar eclipse could be a very significant turning point in your life or a time of change for you. That's something that's coming through. But I feel like you help people reawaken to their potential. And I feel like working with the moon phases could be very powerful for you. You have this very, like, witchy energy about you as well. Very interesting. I feel like you could also plant seeds in people's minds about alternative forms of healing. That's something that's coming through. Microdosing, herbal medicine, plant medicine, somatic movement, yoga. These like alternative forms of healing is something that's coming through. Very interesting. And I feel like you awaken people. That's something that's coming through. I feel like the seeds that you plant in people's minds is that their mind is so powerful it can create or destroy a reality. I feel like you're also coming through as that friend that really like roots on people, like you can do it. And I feel like you plant these like seeds of motivation. And your spirit guides are saying, believe in the me that believes in you. Believe in the you that believes in me. Just believe in yourself is something that's coming through. I feel like you help people believe in themselves. And I feel like it could be because you have maybe been down on your luck. And when you believed in yourself, you encountered these periods of change, of transformation. And I feel like you inspire transformation and you plant seeds that, you know, you can change and be whatever you want to be. That's something that's coming through. I'm seeing you meet with a friend, like an old group of friends, and they say, oh, wow, you look so different. And you're like, yeah, because I changed. Because you're not afraid to go out and do something new and discover new parts of yourself. I feel like you're on this journey of self-exploration, and I feel like you plant those seeds in other people's minds as well. You know, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? Very interesting. We're going to go ahead and look at your tarot cards. Spirit guides of love and light. What seeds is pile number 3 plant in people? Oh, I feel like that's too many. I want to... Spirit guides of love and light. What seeds is pile number 3 plant? Oh, I feel like both of these want to come out. What seeds? Okay. So I was getting this message. I feel like you could have been a child that was maybe overlooked. And the message of abandonment is coming through as well. And I feel like there was really nobody who believed in you. And I feel like you've cultivated this belief in yourself through maybe motivational speeches, through self-love for sure, through discovering more parts of yourself, through releasing, through changing your perspective. And I feel like you inspire people to do the same. And I feel like you've almost like built yourself up to a point where it's like people are inspired by your journey. I feel like you could be a really good motivational speaker. That's something that's coming through. We have the 5 of Cups. What seeds do you plant? It's interesting because with this person, they're like, you know, cowering down. I feel like you plant seeds almost of like appreciating what you do have. And I feel like you could attract a lot of broken birds or people who are really down on their luck. But I feel like you help people see the love and help people see the light in situations. And it's interesting with the Devil here. I feel like you could plant seeds of realizing your own power. I'm sorry about that noise in the background. But I feel like you could plant seeds of realizing your own power. Because in the Devil, you know, the imagery is that they're chained up, but their chains are really loose. They have the power to create their reality. They have the power to release what no longer serves them and pave a new path. Let's see what else we have. We have the Queen of Wands. The Ace of Swords. I'm sorry if you can hear those people in the background. My husband has a friend over right now. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. And I feel like this group is very connected to the divine. I feel like you have a lot of spirit guides around you. I feel like a lot of them could be family members, ancestors, angels, passed on loved ones. And it's almost like I feel like you receive a lot of your inspiration through the divine, through your spirit guides. And I feel like your spirit guides send you a lot of gifts and abundance. It's that message of the fairy godmother again. It's like your spirit guides are your fairy godmother. And it's almost like they've kind of taught you to be the fairy godmother for humanity. And like I was saying, that message of attracting a lot of broken birds, I was just hearing that quote, I think it's in Shrek, the fairy godmother, she says she's just a tear away. It's like whenever you're sad, whenever you're down on your luck, or whenever people are sad or down on their luck, they're attracted into your life, and you bring through this magical healing ability where it's like you help people realize that they can free themselves, that they have the key to their own cage. And I feel like I feel like you could be a channeler of some sort, but I feel like you're that type of friend who always knows what to say and who brings through the best advice and guidance as well. And I feel like a lot of times the things that you bring through is things that you've received from spirit is something that's also coming through. What seeds does pile number 3 plant? I feel like you plant this seed of almost like the power of choice is something that's coming through. The power of choice, because the Lovers, and then we have the Devil, which is, I think it's card number 15, which is number 6, and number 6 is the Lovers. So these are almost like mirroring cards. And the Devil is all about constraint. It's all about feeling like you have no choice. It's all about the past shaping your future. But when you realize that you are creating every single moment from this moment on, you take back your power. And you have this very empowering energy about you as well. And with the Devil here, I feel like you help people realize that they always have a choice. They can always choose to let go, or they can choose to stay the same. That's something that's coming through. And with this imagery of the snake here, I feel like you awaken people to their magic. You awaken people to their potential. And I feel like you empower people. It's almost like people come to you for advice and you're like, you already have all the answers. You empower people to believe in themselves, and these are the seeds that you plant in their minds, like, I don't need anybody but myself. I can do what I want. I can create what I want. I feel like you could attract a lot of people who are very codependent as well, and maybe look to you for answers, and I feel like you're very good at breaking people out of this pattern. Like, no, you don't need anybody else to rely on to make you happy, to feel these certain things. You create how you feel. You create what you think. Very interesting, and I feel like you've done a lot of shadow work on this topic as well with the Queen of Wands here, but I feel like you also plant seeds almost like the power of shadow work as well, the power of the darkness, the power of going into hermit mode and releasing and realizing your strengths. And then these two cards over here. I feel like you help people realize that their thoughts create their reality. And I feel like you could tell people that the universe is always working in your favor. Even when you experience dark things, even when you experience a challenge, it's like obstacles are only detours in the right direction. I feel like that could be something that you say. But I feel like you help people almost like realize their strength. I feel like you could also plant seeds of meditation. That's something that's coming through. Maybe you meditate a bunch and you've learned to like catch these negative thoughts or catch these pessimistic thoughts. And you help people see, you know, the power in changing your thoughts and changing your beliefs, because it can change your reality. What was on the back of the deck? The Queen of Cups. I feel like you also plant seeds. It's like your state of consciousness is the most important state of consciousness. I feel like you plant seeds in people that they need to focus on themselves, especially if they're feeling challenge in relationships. I feel like you help people see that it all goes back to them, that it starts with them. That's something that's coming through. But the bad is all about rebirth. And so I feel like you do help people change and transform and become better versions of themselves through the things that you say. I feel like you're a very inspiring leader, but I feel like you have a very powerful way of speaking. A very like, this is how you need to be if you want to attract these types of things. I feel like you could be very into the law of attraction as well. That's something that's coming through. But you do have this like very magical energy about you. You could be a life path 7. But I feel like that's all I have for you, pile number 3. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this reading, please give me a like. Please comment down below and let me know if this resonated. And if you feel called, please subscribe to my channel. It really does help my channel grow. And we would love to have you be a part of the Sailor family as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And I will see you later. Bye.